Big news for the GPCR community. Discovery on Target is happening September 22nd to 25th in Boston, Massachusetts. Hello, everyone. Yamina here. Welcome to the Dr. GPCR ecosystem. We're partnering this year with DOT to spotlight their exciting program, and in today's video, you'll meet one of the incredible presenters. You'll find all the details and links in the description. I'll be there in person chairing a session, and you won't want to miss Dr. Terry Kanakin's talk on the kinetics of allostery and his short course on the 4 most common causes of drug candidate failure. And remember, Terry's Corner is always available with on-demand pharmacology courses you can access anytime. Plus, GPCR Happy Hour is happening on September 24th. Your chance to connect with colleagues, share ideas, and catch up with friends in a relaxed setting. Find all the links in the description. And now, let's dive in. Hello, everyone. This is Yamina from Dr. GPCR, and this year we're partnering with the GPCR Drug Discovery Track of the Discovery on Target meeting happening in September in Boston. And I'm very excited today because I have not one, but 2 GPCR scientists. I have Alison and Kris. Welcome.
Thank you for having us, Yamina.
We're very excited to have you on. So how about we start with introductions? Kris, can you please tell us who you are and what do you do?
Sure. I'm Kris Borzilleri, and I am a principal scientist at Pfizer. I've been here for more than 30 years, and I have focused largely on biophysical techniques over these years, including protein NMR techniques, as well as SPR, ITC, etc.
Wonderful, wonderful. And Alison?
Hi, I'm Alison Varghese. I have been at Pfizer. I'm a principal scientist. I have been here at Pfizer for a little more than 26 years. I started out in protein biochemistry, and I moved into structural biology, and I am by training a protein biochemist with a focus on structural biology. That would be crystallization, cryo-EM, and a lot of deep protein characterization.
Wonderful. 26 years. That is absolutely phenomenal. All right. So as both of you, we've spoken very briefly before we hit recording. You're both going to be attending the Discovery on Target meeting. So I would love to hear from each of you. What are some of the exciting things that you're currently working on? If you can share with us, obviously.
So over the past few years, I've been focusing on trying to not just develop the biophysical techniques, but also try to understand what sort of for GPCRs and try to understand what types of solubilization techniques can be used to help enable these techniques, as well as focusing not on just existing techniques, but the emerging technologies that are coming out in the field.
Wonderful. Alison?
So yes, so I have been involved with GPCRs from the structural biology perspective, and I've seen it evolve with, we started working on a lot of these many years ago, but I've seen a lot of the GPCR science evolve to where now we have cryo-EM. But I've been focusing on not only purifying these proteins, but using other tools so that we can put them into screening and have the screening be a success. And some of these are lipid mimics and, better characterization techniques because they're quite difficult to work with. And it always starts with a really good reagent, and that's my job.
Wonderful. So you're both coming to the DOT. Alison, I saw you on the GPCR Track, Drug Discovery Track program. Can you please tell us what will you be presenting?
So I will be presenting the challenges in hit ID for GPCRs. We work on several orphan GPCRs, and we have no chemical substrate, so we need to screen them. And a lot of the trouble we've been facing is with the solubilization in detergents. They're very sticky. We get a lot of false positives. So we've developed some technologies or worked on optimizing technologies that have helped us get over that hurdle of the screening and not getting so many of these false positives. We also have some improved techniques to characterize these GPCRs and see changes when they're bound to a compound in structure to better help us understand what's going on. But these tools can be very enabling. A lot of the characterization techniques you cannot use with detergents, such as mass spec, mass photometry, many of these things, and some of these lipid mimics have helped us get over that and be able to use these analytical tools to better understand what we have in hand before we deliver it for screening.
I think that's wonderful. And you mentioned orphan GPCRs, and in my mind, I was like, oh no, that's a tough one. A GPCR is already a difficult target to work with, but when it's an orphan, it just multiplies by 10 that difficulty.
Yes.
Wonderful. Kris.
I will be moderating the breakout session in the GPCR track. So where we talk about different biophysical tools for GPCR drug discovery, but we're gonna primarily focus on soluble. I can't say that word.
I'm laughing, and if you don't mind, we're gonna keep this in because every time when you said solubilization, the first time in my mind I had to put it out in order to be able to say it. But yes, I think we all understand what you mean.
So we're going to discuss different solubilization techniques, including things like the nanodiscs, peptidiscs, even different types of detergents that people are using. SMALPs seems to be getting brought up as well. So we'll be discussing what people are doing in that area. And then we'll also be discussing hopefully different construct designs to enable, biophysical measurements, et cetera, in sort of what are people doing to include the G protein in their designs, different covalent attachments, et cetera, and how is that working in some of these biophysical methods. And then just also, sort of, again, emerging technologies in this field, biophysical technologies that include, PrEP-based, BRET-based, as well as imaging, et cetera. So hopefully that's what we'll be spending our 45 minutes on together.
Wonderful. I love the breakout sessions because they're intimate, they're small, and it can encourage people to, participate, and it can spark really, really interesting conversations.
Yeah.
You mentioned biophysical methods and breath and fret. The world knows this. Anyone who's listened to the podcast knows this. Well, I'm an in vitro pharmacologist by training, and I'm also breath biased because I trained in a lab where we heavily collaborated with Michel Bouvier, where this technology was important from. So you mentioned biophysical methods, and in my mind, I'm like, yes, this is really cool. One thing I wanted to ask or mention is, you mentioned plasmid, you mentioned different detergents, all of these. Throughout the years, how did these tools evolve? Is it easier to purify a GPCR now than it was 10 years ago? What are some of the advances in the field?
Yes, so I can answer to that. So in short, I would say yes, it is easier to purify them. The construct design has certainly evolved. In previous years, we used to do these massive detergent screens. We have now a limited set. It's a core set. And actually in our lab, we basically have two favorites, sometimes a third. But I think it's become much easier to do this. We have a lot of stabilization techniques. And as Kris mentioned, we're using other technologies. And I think that it's much better now. The technology and the knowledge has gotten better, which has, the targets are harder, but the tools are much better. So it's really a good time to be working on these as well. But we still have a long way to go.
I think so too. I think we have a long way to go as well. This was it. I really want to thank you for your time today. I'm very excited to meet you in person. I will also be moderating actually one of the sessions with Dr. Terry Kanakin as the first speaker. I don't know if you're going to be joining the short course with Terry, but I look forward to meeting you both in person at Discovery on Target in September.
Yes, thank you. This has been fun. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't wait to see you in Boston for DOT 2025, especially at the GPCR Happy Hour on September 24th, where we'll connect, exchange ideas, and unwind together. And don't forget, Terry's Corner is ready when you are, with on-demand pharmacology courses. Check the links below for all the details. Until next time, this is Yamina, signing off.